There are 8 planets in our solar system: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. But what about planets outside of our solar system? These are called exoplanets. Exoplanets, instead of orbiting our sun, typically orbit other stars. Sometimes there are exoplanets that do not orbit any star. They are instead rogue, which means that they travel in space without being gravitationally bound to any object. There are 4 types of exoplanets: gas giants, Neptunian planets, super-Earths, and terrestrial planets. Let's start with gas giants. Gas giants are massive planets composed mainly of gases. These planets are around the size of Jupiter, or they can be significantly larger. Neptunian planets are gaseous planets, like gas giants, that are around the size of Neptune or Uranus. Super-Earths are rocky planets that are smaller than Neptune but larger than Earth. They sometimes, but not always, have atmospheres. Lastly, terrestrial planets are rocky planets that are around the size of Earth or smaller. Some exoplanets are thought to be habitable, which means that humans can survive on them. For a planet to sustain human life, it must first have an atmosphere that we can breathe. To have a breathable atmosphere, an exoplanet must be of a certain size. If it has a mass much larger than twice the size of the Earth, for example, then its atmosphere would be far too thick for us. If a planet had a mass much smaller than Earth, however, then gusts of particles from its star would blow away any possible atmosphere. This would make it impossible to breathe. Liquid water is also a necessity for habitability. This means that a planet must be in what is known as the habitable zone. This zone refers to the distance an exoplanet has from its star so that liquid water may exist on its surface. That is, the planet cannot be too far from its star or else temperatures would cause the water to freeze. But if a planet is too close to the star, then water would evaporate due to high temperatures. To stay in the habitable zone, a planet's orbit must not be too eccentric. In other words, the orbit should not be too elongated because this would lead to extreme temperatures. At some points in its orbit, a planet might be very far from its star, thus the temperature would be too cold to support life. At other points, however, the planet might be very close to the star, causing unreasonably hot temperatures. Thus, a planet's orbit should have a somewhat circular orbit so that its temperature does not drastically change throughout its orbit. A magnetic field is also important because magnetic fields provide protection from a star's harmful radiation. To add on, volcanic activity is important for life. This is because volcanoes bring life-sustaining substances like nitrogen and water to the surface of a planet. Carbon dioxide also emerges from volcanic activity, which thus helps the atmosphere become warm enough to sustain life. Tectonic plates also play a very important role in the formation of volcanoes, therefore they must be present on a habitable planet. I hope you enjoyed learning about exoplanets. Thank you for watching.